Let me start tonight as usual, in the usual way, and that's using the scripture I consider the anchor scriptures. And I deliberately start this way every week just to create some mindset for us so that we can understand the fact that these are scriptural principles only that more often than not, we read the Bible in the way we have chosen to read it or the way we've been taught. And sometimes it robs us a lot of other value and benefit we can derive from scriptures just by looking at it a little bit differently. So let me start again today by quoting the scripture that states that we can understand God by studying creation. And by the way, what we are discussing today is in line with our anchor scripture, how the nature teaches you to manifest, how the nature teaches you manifestation, how the nature teaches you manifestation. The nature actually teaches us every day. But you know what? We choose not to listen to the nature. God created nature to teach us. And he's teaching us in a fantastic way. But you know what? We choose not to listen to it. We choose to listen to what we want to listen to. And that's why this topic is very important. Next week, we are going to be discussing inferiority complex. How inferiority complex hinder your manifestation and how to overcome it. And then afterward, we talk about how your parent is influencing and hindering your manifestation. That's upbringing. Let me start by quoting the scripture that says that we can understand God by studying creation or the work of his hand. He said, for the invisible things of him are clearly seen, being understood by the things that are made, even his eternal power and God, so that they are without excuse. Another translation says that God's eternal power and character cannot be seen. But from the beginning of creation, God has shown what this look like by what he has made. And that is why those people don't have excuse. So you know what? Many Christians, many believers don't have excuse that they are unable to manifest their desired reality. They do not have excuse that they are unable to manifest their desired reality. They do not have excuse. Why? Because the nature already presented it to us. I would like to state that some of the languages used in scriptures are based on the limitation of the understanding of the people at that time. If the scripture is going to be written today, you're going to see words like energy, frequency, and vibration. Energy, frequency, and vibration. For example, love, joy, and peace make you to be at a high frequency of vibration. But anger, hatred, fear make you to be at a low frequency of vibration. And by the way, anger, fear, and hatred are the energy of evil. And they keep you at a low frequency of vibration. This is why, as long as you are in Christ, which means you are full of love, joy, and peace, evil power cannot harm you because you are at a high frequency of vibration. That means you are more powerful than the force behind the evil. God has set for different systems on the earth, and this makes him not to interfere in the way earth operates every time. Some of these systems include water cycle, carbon cycle, phosphorus cycle, nitrogen cycle. This cycle operates autonomously and naturally operates. And that gives you an idea of the way God operates. He has created everything already. You are the one to position yourself to be able to receive what he has created already, rather than pursuing it. Because when you are pursuing it, what God has created for you is pursuing you, but you are pursuing it because of lack of understanding. Even though he said goodness and mercy shall follow you, people are still pursuing goodness and mercy up and down, rather than positioning for it. He has also put, even in our body, systems, structures that are also autonomous. For example, the nervous system, endocrine system, reproductive system, circulatory system, pulmonary system, gastrointestinal system, musculoskeletal system. These are all autonomous. These are all autonomous, and they are within our body, and they control our life such that if you're in a hot environment, the body can pick it up and respond by making you to sweat without you thinking about it. The body pick it up because it's autonomous. And that's the way God created this life. Even the manifestation of your desired reality. It's not when you are praying that God is looking up and down to answer your prayer. He has created a system that if you plug into, your prayer will be answered. So if your prayer is not being answered, maybe you should check again very well if you are plugging in into that system of manifestation. So ladies and gentlemen, today, we are looking at how the nature teaches you to manifest, or how God is teaching you to manifest. Because God created nature, and what God created is teaching you to manifest. Let me start by saying that if you don't understand the mechanism or the principle that guide how the universe works, you will be unable to rearrange reality in order to be able to achieve your desired reality. So just as in farming, you cannot see the seed that is in the ground before it starts to grow. So is the inner work of meditation, visualization, and manifestation. When you are doing the inner work, nobody is seeing it. But guess what? The harvest is near, and people will begin to see it on the outside. But when you start the meditation, when you start the visualization, when you start the affirmation, nobody is seeing it. Nobody is seeing it. Why are they not seeing it? Why? Because at that time, it's like planting. And as you plant, the seed is right under the ground, fully buried under the ground. The seed is right under the ground, fully buried under the ground. So it cannot be seen. Now, the question is, does the absence of a physical presence of a thing mean does not exist? The answer is no. And this is why some people don't get it. Is in trying to do their visualization, affirmation, and it's not seeing the result yet. And because it's not seeing the result, you believe nothing is happening. Forgetting that just the way you plant a seed, the seed is going to germinate now. You're not going to see the plant immediately. You're not going to see the fruit immediately. It's going to take a while. And it's called the law of gestation, which is why you have to keep at it. But from the day you planted it, the process of manifesting that fruit has started, even though you cannot see it yet. So in short, the answer for your harvest. So the day you plant, you have gotten the answer of harvest immediately, the same day. But the day you will physically receive that harvest might take a while, few days, few weeks, few months. But from the day you plant, germination started. Just because you can't see it does not mean it does not exist. Remember, your eye see 0.0035% of reality. Your eyes only see 0.0035% of reality. Because your eyes see 0.0035% of reality, that's the reason you should not judge by what you can see. When a seed is planted into the ground, even though it is not growing yet, but you know it is in the ground, even though it's not growing out yet, but you know it's in the ground, the absence of sprouting out of the ground does not invalidate the fact that the seed has been planted into the ground. So please note that the physical presence is irrelevant as far as the concept of manifestation is concerned. This is why you should not take the absence of your desired reality as evidence that it is not working. Remember that manifestation is internally shifting to a degree where you are no longer emotionally dependent upon seeing reality change. Manifestation is internally shifting to a degree where you are no longer emotionally dependent upon seeing reality change, when you are good with or without it. The reason why many say nothing is happening despite the work they are doing internally is because of the old frequency, old self, old mindset, which tell them that nothing is changing. because they are walking by sight and not by faith. Please note that the reality is a delay consciousness. Reality is a delay consciousness. That means there is a lag between the time you do the internal work to the time it manifests on the outside. There's a lag between when internally you create your reality and when reality becomes manifested on the outside. There's a lag. There's a lag. So the old self knows this and leverage on this lag and make you doubt the reality of what you have already created because you are not conscious of the law of gestation. You are not conscious of the law of gestation. So just as you know that your seed is in the ground, just as you know that your seed is in the ground, just as you know that your seed is in the ground, just as you know that your seed is in the ground and growing, that's exactly the way you should see the manifestation of your desired reality. And this is very important. Very, very important. Just as you know that your seed is in the ground, that is exactly how you need to know that your desired reality already exists spiritually. The old self, the old frequency, the old mindset knows that your ego sees the physicality as reality, and it leverages on it to make you think the inner work is not working. It makes you think the inner work is not working. But guess what? Guess what? Guess what? Nature is teaching you about manifestation. So just as you know that seed you planted in the ground, even when it is not visible, does not mean nothing is happening in the ground. And just the way it's not visible when it's under the ground, that's exactly the way your manifestation is after you have created it internally. After you have created it internally. Remember, manifestation is internally shifting to a degree where you are no longer emotionally dependent upon seeing reality change. When you are no longer emotionally dependent upon seeing reality, that means your reality changing physically is not what makes you feel good. You feel good even when the physical reality has not changed because you have changed it internally. You need to know and be confident that it has been created, not just believe, because this has some level of doubt, but you need to know there's a difference between knowing and believing. Knowing means you are convinced it has happened. Believing means there is still an evidence of doubt. You need to know. You need to be convinced it has happened. So the first principle in nature we'll look at today is that the seed you sow every day contributes to your frequency, and this determines your reality. That's the first principle we discuss today. The seed you sow every day, the seed you sow every day contributes to your frequency, and that determines your reality. The seed you sow every day contributes to your frequency, and that determines your reality. The seed you sow every day. What are the seed you sow every day? Your belief, your identity, your expectation, your emotionally charged thought, your focus, your attention, your mood, your emotional conviction are your seed. So you're believing God for something, your belief about it, your thought about it, your focus and attention on the opposite or on it, your expectation of it or of the opposite, because some people will pray in the morning, but in the afternoon they are expecting something else because they really don't believe that what they prayed for will happen. So in their mind, they are saying, what if this happened? What if that happened? But they prayed, they prayed, they prayed, they prayed. But they're still saying in their mind, what if this happened? What if that happened? Your frequency is an immaterialized reality. Your frequency is an immaterialized reality, while your reality is a materialized frequency. So whatever you see in your reality is a frequency that are materialized that you can see. Whatever you cannot see yet is an immaterialized reality. That's why when you create it in your mind, it's created. That it has not manifested physically does not mean it is not created. It's just a matter of time. Just the way a steam, for example, if you fly in the air, you will see the cloud. You can't see the water. You see the cloud. You can't see the water. But right within the water that right within the cloud is the water. They eventually condense as rain. They eventually condense as rain. So your belief should either be reflective of your desired reality, your belief is either reflective of your desired reality or not. If your belief does not reflect your desired reality, you are planting the wrong seed. So you are believing God for a job, for example. But in your mind, you are doubting that interview if they will take you. You are believing God for a spouse, for example. But in your mind, you are doubting if you speak to this sister, it's not going to answer, or nobody will come. You will not be able to meet anybody. Every day you are planting. Guess what? You are going to reap what you are sowing. To get right belief that help you manifest your desired reality, you need to do. What you need to do is to get into the alpha or theta brainwave. That means you need to be in a relaxed mode and begin to ask yourself, what will I believe if I have, how will I feel if I have the desired reality? What will I feel, or how will I feel if I have this desired reality? In that relaxed state, you begin to imagine it so that you can begin to keep in your mind the right kind of thought. Put in your mind the right kind of thought. The right kind of thought. This is very important, ladies and gentlemen. Take note of these things, of those things rather, that are coming to your mind, and those are the belief that you should hold as true. Remember, what will I believe if I have this desired reality? I'll believe that it is possible. How will I feel? I'll feel great and happy that it's possible. You see that belief coming to my mind is what I should hold as true. This is what you should be planting daily, so you can reap the fruit of this seed, which is your desired reality. So ask yourself, if I have this answer to this thing I'm believing God for now, how will this affect my belief system? It will strengthen it. It will empower it. That possibility thinking should guide my thought on a daily basis. Remember, you are planting every day, and what you are sowing contributes to your frequency. The next seed is the seed of expectation. This is based on identity, which is the way you see yourself. Look, the way you see yourself is so important. In fact, when we discuss inferiority complex next week. You begin to see the reason why, as human beings, you are so powerful. We are so powerful that we are the one that give people power over us. Because when you believe someone is superior to you, that means you are inferior to that person. When you believe someone is superior to you, that means you are inferior to that person. When you believe a problem is bigger than you, that means you are under that problem. That means you are under that problem. But guess what? You are the one that give that problem the power over you. That's the interesting thing about this. As in, we are the one that give people and problem power over us by the way we think. Remember that scripture that says, we were grasshopper. They were giant. We are grasshopper. They were giant. And you know the interesting about this life? The way you look at life is the way life look at you. The way you look at your situation and circumstances is the way your situation and circumstances look at you. If you see it as being big, it will see you as being small. It will see you as being small and incapable of providing answer. You see you as being small and incapable of providing solution or answer to the problem. So, expectation. Expectation. It is important for you to know that expectation is your creation. And this is what you find normal. Guess what? Whatever you find normal in life will find you. Expectation is your creation, and that's what you find normal. And whatever you find normal in your life will find you. If you find failure as being normal, failure will find you. You find disappointment as being normal, disappointment will find you. If you find relationship being difficult as being normal, relationship difficult will find you. If you find irreconcilable differences in relationship as normal, it will find you. If you find getting a job being difficult as being normal in Nigeria, that will find you. If you find getting a good business to do is difficult, if you find that to be normal, if you find unemployment as being normal, unemployment will find you. If you find lack of job as being normal, lack of job will find you. Whatever you find normal 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 will find you. A minute, please. A minute, please. Whatever you find normal will find you. So what you find normal? If you find hardship as normal, lack of job as normal, not having enough money as normal, not getting opportunity in business as normal, whatever you find normal will find you. Remember, that is things that contribute to your frequency. And remember, frequency resonates with the reality that you attract to yourself in this life. Your state of mental consciousness is in resonance with a particular reality you attract to yourself in this life. That's what the Bible says, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is it. Do you find it normal to be broke? Do you find it normal not to get a job? Do you find it normal not to get married on time? Whatever you find normal will find you. Do you find it normal that men are scum? Do you find it normal that women are a dog or whatever it is you call them? Based on your history. Whatever you find normal, you find you. You find it normal that it's difficult, it's hard to get a good man. It's hard to get a good wife. Whatever you find normal will find you. Because as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Please know that whatsoever you find normal in life will surely find you sooner or later. It's just a matter of time. Until you make your desired reality in your life. Until you make your desired reality normal in your life. That reality that you are desiring will not find you. Until you make your desired reality normal in your life, that desired reality you are looking for will not find you. So you need to expect that you will find good job. You need to expect that you get good job. You need to expect that you get good spouse. You need to expect that you get good client. You need to expect that you will get that fund you are looking for. You need to expect that you will get good partner. You need to expect that you will get your desired reality. Until you change the way you look at life, life will not change the way you look at you. Until you change the way you look at life, life will not change the way you look at you. So you need to begin to look at life from the position of attaining your desired reality. Number one, principle number one, that you learn from creation as far as manifestation of desired reality is concerned. The seed you sow every day contribute to the frequency, and this determines your reality. Number two, don't judge the day by what you sow. Judge the day by what you reap. Don't judge the day by what you sow. Judge the day by what you reap. Don't judge the day by what you sow. Don't judge the day by what you sow. Judge the day by what you reap. This basically means that you should not judge the day by the physical effort you put in, but rather by the result you get based on your inner work. But rather by the result you get based on your inner work. A number of people judge their reality by their physical possession, but physical possession is an illusion. This universe does not respect reality because reality is an illusion. Please note that vibrational possession is more real than physical possession. I will take that again. Vibrational possession is more real than physical possession. I will take that again. Vibrational possession is more real than physical possession. I will take that again. Vibrational possession is more real than physical possession. What is vibrational possession? That's internal possession. Internal possession. Knowing that you have it already, because you can only have what you already have. You can only have what you already have. Whatsoever you desire when you pray, believe you have received it. That is the vibrational possession. Believe you have received it. That is the vibrational possession. And you shall have it. That's the physical possession. Whatsoever you ask, the desire when you pray, believe you have received it. That is the vibrational possession. Then you will have it. That is the physical possession. Believe you have received it. That is the vibrational possession. Then you will have it. That is the physical possession. Believe you have received it. That is the vibrational possession. Then you will have it as the physical possession. So, ladies and gentlemen, vibrational possession is more real than physical possession. Vibrational possession is more real than physical possession. Stop focusing on a to-do list. Rather, start focusing on a to-be list. A to-be list. What are the things you want to become internally so you can manifest externally? What are the things you want to become internally so you can manifest externally? What are the things you need to become internally? Because everything you see physically first exists vibrationally. You see that water exists vibrationally. That ice exists vibrationally. That wood exists. That's why when you put fire on anything, it will disappear. As smoke into flame. Why? It go back into vibration. That is the way it existed before. That's how it existed before. It go up in flames. Why? Because you are increasing the energy in that thing. Stop focusing on to-do list by looking at reality for confirmation of change you desire. You might become disappointed, disgusted, disgruntled. You are believing God for something, you are now asking, has it happened? When you are looking to see whether it has happened, when you are looking to see whether it has happened, it can make you become discouraged, disgruntled, disappointed, disgusted. Why? Because by checking whether it has happened, it's a sign that you don't believe it has happened. Don't judge the day by what you sow. Judge the day by what you reap. And what you reap internally. So don't judge your situation by your internal work. So don't judge your situation by your internal work that you are doing. Judge your situation by what you have become. The fact that you know you now have it. The fact that you know you have received it. Not by the number of prayers, number of fasting, number of meditation, number of visualization, but rather by the internal shifting. By the internal shifting. By the internal shifting. By looking at the confirmation, you are looking at reality to prove it to yourself. But you need to be it before the word prove it to you. You need to become it before the word prove it to you. You need to become it before it manifests in reality. You don't get from God's system of the universe what you desire. No. What you get from God's system of the universe is what you are vibrationally in alignment with. I will take that again. You don't get from the God system of this universe what you desire. No. You get from God's system of the universe what you are vibrationally in alliance and alignment with, what you are in resonance, what you are vibrating at a resonant with, at a frequency with. This is so important. You don't get what you desire in this life. You get what you are aligning with vibrationally. Remember the time we're talking about why bad things happen to good people. They are good people, but bad things are happening to them. They don't have job. They don't have spouse. They have issue with money. They have different issue in their life, but they are good people. The reason bad things happen to good people is because good people have a bad frequency. Good people have a bad mental state of consciousness. Good people have a bad level of awareness. So don't do a physical work so things can change. Rather, do an inner work so that things can change internally and then to change externally. I will take that again. When you are trying to change anything in your life, what is it you are believing God for that you want to change? Don't go and do a physical work. You want to get a job. Don't go and look for, what's the name? Applying. Don't apply first. Do an inner work so you can get a leading, a direction, an intuition, a mental nudging of where to apply to, how to apply, who to call, who to reach, where to check online. Don't do the physical work first so things can change. Rather, do the inner work so that things can change internally. Until things change internally, nothing will change externally. Let things change internally until you no longer need the thing to change externally. Until you no longer need that thing to change externally. Let things so change internally until you no longer need that thing to change externally. So don't meditate or visualize or do affirmation or pray or worship to change reality. Rather, you are doing them to change you to such a point that you no longer need reality to change, where you are good with or without it. This is why I said the goal of prayer is to change you internally. If prayer is not changing you internally, when you finish praying about a situation, if you don't come out of that prayer believing that it has happened and believing it, to begin to thank God for it, and when you are thanking God for it, you won't go and pray about it tomorrow. If you pray about it today and you believe it has happened, then what you need to do is to be thanking God every day, not to be asking for it again tomorrow. When you begin to ask for it again tomorrow, what you are saying is that you don't believe in the prayer you prayed yesterday. Your importunity in prayer is in the worship, is in thanking Him Because you know, because your worship is prayer, your meditation is prayer, your visualization, seeing that it has happened is prayer, your mental declaration is prayer. And you must continue to pray, but not asking like it has not happened, but rather thanking him because it has happened. And when you are thinking like someone that knows it has happened and feeling the feeling and happy, excited that it has happened. Happy, excited that it has happened. Happy, excited that it has happened. So don't meditate or visualize or do affirmation or pray to change reality. Rather, you should change you. And you are changed internally to a point that you no longer need to see that reality to change on the outside. So it's important for you to know that when you possess something vibrationally, you don't need anyone to prove to you that it has happened again. You don't need anyone to prove to you that it has happened again. Number one, you sow every day. The seed you sow every day contribute to your frequency, and this determines your reality. Number two, don't judge the day by what you sow. Judge it by what you reap. Number three, mango seed produce mango. Orange tree produce orange. Banana tree produce banana. Coconut tree produce coconut. Palm kernel tree produce palm kernel. The seed you sow is the cause. And this is what produces the effect. Mango seed produce mango. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are unemployed right now and you have made a lot of effort for 6 months, nothing is changing, mango seed produce mango. Accept that you are the one sowing the seed of unemployment. The day you accept that, you will change it. But if you don't accept, then you won't be able to change it. Because whatever you are seeing in your life today, ladies and gentlemen, either you know it or not, either you believe it or not, either you accept it or not, is created by your mental state of consciousness. Either you know it or not, either you accept it or not, either you believe it or not, is created by your mental state of consciousness. Either you know it or not, either you accept it or not, either you believe it or not, is created by your mental state of consciousness, because as a man think in his heart, so is he. As a man think in his heart, so is he. So what do you want? What do you want? What do you want? What do you want? And what are you getting? The seed you sow is the cause. And what you produce in your life is the effect. Note that you cannot outrun your frequency. It's the realm of cause. Because you cannot outrun your frequency. Because your frequency speaks before you speak. Your frequency speaks before you speak. You cannot outrun your frequency. The mistake that many people make is that they are not aware of the seed they are planting every day in their life. And then they become surprised at the fruit they are reaping in their life, because it does not align with what they want. Many people are not conscious of the seed they are sowing every day in their life, but they are surprised at the result, at the fruit. Why are you surprised at the fruit when you are the one planting the seed? Mango seed does not produce orange. Mango seed produce mango. Mango seed produce mango. What you sow is what you are reaping. In unemployment, not having the desired spouse, not having the desired job, not having the desired opportunity, you are the one creating it. Ladies and gentlemen, the day you accept that and know that, then you will make a change. You see what? If you don't accept and know that this is what is creating what you are saying, then you can't make an amend. But immediately you understand this is me causing this. Look, you already have a mental image of men in your life. There's a way you see them. That's why you are repelling them from yourself. That's why they are not coming. That's why they are not coming. Because there's a consciousness you have that's chasing the men away. There's a consciousness you have that's chasing the women away. There is a posture you have mentally that will attract them to you. But just accept, just accept, just accept. If you don't accept it, then you can't fix the problem. Remember, if you are reaping mango in your life today, you are planting mango. You're already planting it. That's why you are reaping it. If you have unemployment, it's because you planted unemployment. It's because you planted unemployment. It's because you planted unemployment. You desire this spouse, you don't have this spouse. It's because you planted it. Because what you sow, you will reap. Because what you sow, you will reap. The mistake that many people make is that they are not aware of the seed they are planting. And then they become surprised at the fruit they are reaping in their life because the fruit does not align with what they want. But they don't know that they are the ones sowing the seed for what they don't want. But they are doing it unconsciously. So they are unconsciously sowing the seed for what they don't want. Because they are not conscious that they are the one causing it. They attribute everything to the devil, someone in the village. Maybe you are the devil yourself. You are your own devil. Maybe you are your own village people. Maybe. More often than not, the seed for the desired prosperity is not planted. That is why you are reaping poverty. What is being planted is what you don't want. More often than not, the seed for the desired spouse, for the desired opportunity is not being planted. Hence, you are not reaping it. You planted onion and you are expecting mango. How do you expect that to happen? You planted lack of job in Nigeria and you're expecting to find a job. You planted men as scum and you're expecting to find a man. You planted women as cheat and you're expecting to find a woman. You planted the economy is hard and you're expected to get opportunity for business. You will never get prosperity in a mental state of scarcity. You will never get the desired spouse and partner in a mental state of very wrong and terrible impression about the opposite sex you want to marry. You will never get wealth in a mental state of poverty. You will never get prosperity in a mental state of scarcity. You will never get healthy relationship in a mental state of toxic relationship. Go and unfollow some people online. There's some people you must unfollow online. You don't want to see them in your feed again. You don't want to see them in your social media feed again. You need to unfollow them. Why? What they say every day is creating toxicity in your mind and giving you bad impression about Nigeria, about opposite sex, particularly against men or against women. Please don't go and alter the seed. Please go and alter the seed rather in order to alter your fruit. Go and alter the seed you are planting in order to alter your fruit, because mango seed will produce mango. Banana will produce banana. Orange will produce orange. You need to alter the seed and water it consistently to get your desired fruit. The seed you have planted through prayer, through affirmation, through visualization, through mental state of consciousness need to be watered constantly. The watering process is done through your emotion. Through your emotion. The emotion of peace and the emotion of gratitude. Look at the watering of your seed. You planted the seed in prayer, in affirmation, but you need to water it with the right emotion of peace. I'm at peace is done, even when reality proves otherwise. I am full of gratitude that God has done it, even when reality put otherwise. You see those two emotionally charged thoughts of peace and gratitude. 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 So you need to water the seed you have planted daily. So can you see what you do daily? Not to be asking for God for what you asked for yesterday. You ask for that. If you keep asking every day, you don't believe it has been done. If you believe it has been done, you will be at peace, not worry again, and you're full of gratitude that it's been done. You need to water the seed you have planted daily through being in constant state of peace and gratitude. Constant state of peace and gratitude. Constant state of peace and gratitude. Please note that because an emotional experience, please note that an emotional experience equates to a particular degree of energy, energetic charge. You will have about a particular reality. The energetic charge you will have about a particular reality will increase the likelihood that your subconscious mind will accept the ideas true. I'll take that again. Please note that because an emotional experience will equate to a particular degree of energetic charge, an emotional experience equates to a particular degree of energetic charge. The energetic charge you have about a particular reality will increase the likelihood that your subconscious mind will accept the idea as true. So the reason for giving gratitude is to begin to feel the feeling with emotionally charged thoughts that it has happened. Emotion. Emotion. Emotion is an energy in motion. It's an energetic vibration. So the goal of gratitude is, if you are really grateful, when you are grateful, sometimes you feel like crying, as in you are so overwhelmed. You see that overwhelming state. Let me tell you how to do this. If there are songs that make you to feel the awesomeness of God's presence, there are songs I listen to. When you listen to it, it makes you to feel the awesomeness of his presence. For some of us, you feel like crying because you can feel his presence. You can, particularly those of us that are choristers, you have an advantage here. Sing those songs. Sing it in a way that shows that you can feel the awesomeness of his presence. And at that point, you feel like crying. Shedding tears is a good time. This is a good time to shed tears. This is a good time to shed tears. This is a good time to shed tears. You see, that emotion is what actually shifts you internally. If you have songs that when you listen to, particularly a worship song, that make you to feel the awesomeness of his presence, such that you feel like crying. And in some cases, you actually cry because you are overwhelmed with the goodness of God. We waste, there's so many ways we waste what someone call, we do what someone call, they call it, spiritual masturbation. That people are in the presence of God, they are wasting that emotion rather than channeling that emotion in the direction of desired reality. So you are happy and glad and crying for the overwhelming joy of receiving that desired reality. A minute, please. I need to take I need to talk to someone. A minute, please. A minute, please. Just think about what I've just said. A minute. Sorry, I had to take a call. I was expecting that call before the session starts. I had to take it. Can you hear me now? Please confirm you can hear me. Okay, Favor, thank you. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, a mango tree produces mango. You need to water the prayer, the affirmation, the visualization, the mental state of consciousness with peace and gratitude. You will only have that peace in your mind when you are full of gratitude, because gratitude means you know it's done. So you will have peace in your mind even when the situation around shows that it has not happened, but you know it has happened because, look, when you are overwhelmed, when you are in the presence of God, look, please, I need you to try this. I need you, particularly those of you that like song, those worship songs that make you to be the awesomeness of his presence. Kneel down, spend time worshiping, thanking him, embodying his presence, and you are crying, you are overwhelmed with joy. But while you're doing that, you are visualizing that desired reality. That's what's making you happy. If you do it regularly, you are going to shift your subconscious mind. Faith will be better than you. You'll be at peace that it's done in spite of the situation not changing. And that is exactly what makes you to be at a level of vibration that attract that desired reality to your life. Please note that because an emotional experience will equate to a particular degree of energetic vibration, the energetic vibration you have about a particular reality will increase the likelihood that your subconscious mind will accept it as true. This is because as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Remember, I said in his heart, emotion, heart, emotion. Number one, be mindful of what you are planting. What you are planting is what you are reaping. Principle number one, the seed you sow every day contribute to the frequency, and that determines your reality. Number two, don't judge the day by what you sow. Judge the day by what you reap. Number three, mango seed produce mango. And number four, before we close this evening, the soil and the sun don't care. They just nurture. The soil and the sun don't care. They just nurture. The soil and the sun don't care. They just nurture. The soil and the sun don't care. They just nurture. The soil and the sun don't care about the seed. They just nurture. That's why some believers are wondering why they are having some issue in their life, even though they believe they are Christian, they should have good things coming to their life, but they are not having that experience because the sun and the soil don't care. They just nurture. So if what you are planting is negative, you will reap negative. If what you are planting is positive, you will reap positive. The sun and the soil don't care about the seed you planted. They just do their job, which is to nurture the seed to be fruitful. Which is to nurture the seed to be fruitful. It does not matter whether you planted the right seed or the wrong seed. It does not matter whether you planted the right seed or the wrong seed. Whether you planted it deliberately or unintentionally, you will reap it. So whatever seed is planted into the ground, it will be nurtured. Period. This is why bad things happen to good people. This is why bad things happen to good people. This is why some Christians have prayed for many years, nothing is changing in their life. Why? Because they keep planting bad things. This is why you need to be conscious about what you are planting. How do you plant? Through your emotionally charged thought. How do you plant? Through your focus, attention, or concentration. How do you plant? Through your belief. How do you plant? Through your expectation. How do you plant? Through your mood and how you feel. How do you plant? Through your conviction. How do you plant? through your reaction or response to issues of life. How do you plant? You're planting every day, but you're planting what you don't want to see. Please note that whether you decide to do it or not, you are going to manifest something. Or rather, you are always manifesting something. Not planting is planting. Planting is planting. If you're not planting anything, you're also planting. If you plant nothing, you reap nothing. If you plant something, you reap something. But if you plant the good thing you want to see, you also reap the good thing you want to see. This is why you need to stop living your life by default. Hello? Stop living your life by default. Start living your life by design. Stop living your life by default. Start living your life by design. Some people live their life by default. Everything, they're not even conscious by default. You know what I mean by default? If you are it's a computer language, that's not also very familiar with. People live by default. I mean by factory setting. They're just like that. You should not be living by default. You be living by design. Because you live by default, that means it's happenstance. But when you live by design, it is circumstances you created yourself. Start to live your life by design in order to manifest that desired reality. You need to develop a higher level of awareness regarding what you are creating in your life. This is why you should not judge the day by what you sow. Rather, you should judge the day by what you reap. You should judge the day by what you reap. That is, become more conscious about why you are reaping what you are reaping. And if it is not what you want, then change the seed. That means you need to start planting what you desire today. And you need to start nurturing them to maturity by always being at peace. Do you know why you should always be at peace? I'll read a scripture to you. Do you know why you should always be at peace? How peace helps you to manifest your desired reality? I'll read a scripture to you. The scripture said, acquaint yourself with him and be at peace, thereby good shall come to you. Acquaint yourself to him and be at peace, thereby good shall come to you. Acquaint yourself to him and be at peace, and thereby good shall come to you. Give yourself to God and make peace with him. Do this, and you will get many good things coming to you. Acquaint now yourself with him and be at peace, and thereby good shall come to you. The reason good is not coming to you is because you are full of chaos inside. Chaotic inside. Chaotic inside. Chaotic inside. And guess what? A man can receive nothing except it be given to him from heaven, and the kingdom of heaven is within you. But for some, it's the kingdom of hell within, because they are full of chaos, fear, worry, anxiety, animosity. And guess what? It's making it difficult, making their journey in life difficult, and making it difficult for them to make the desired progress. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what I have in talk for you today. I believe you've learned one or two things. Let me hear from you. Good evening. Favor, long time. Where have you been? Where have you been? Where have you been? Why have you not been joining?
Good evening, sir. Thank you so much for this night. Why have I not been joining? I've been caught up in quite a lot, and I'm just really glad I'm able to join this night. Let me first sigh because a lot has been dished out this night. For me, like personally, like what stood out, is about visualizing, or like you mentioned, thinking to myself or asking myself, like, how would I feel if I had this desired reality? Meaning, I don't have to have the reality just yet, but in mentally, I'm already living that reality, it's not yet physically manifested. And I was worrying
I'm struggling to hear
about
you. I'm struggling. I don't know what happened. I don't know if it's from me. I'm struggling to. It's cracking. Serious. No, it's not. It's cracking. Maybe you
I think
can
it's
go out
probably
and
the
come in.
network.
Maybe you can go out and come in. Grant,
I started.
Favor, I need to hear you.
Okay,
So go out and come in. I need to hear you. Go out and
I
come
will.
in, please. Grant. Hello, Grant. Is Grant here or is asleep?
No, he's not asleep. Oh, good evening, sir.
How are you? Good evening.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for tonight's session. So, my key takeaways are reality is a
Yes,
delayed consciousness,
consciousness. Yeah, yeah.
and then frequency equals to immaterialized reality,
Yes, and reality is
and
an
then
immaterialized frequency. Yeah.
that makes it very vivid. So, then that question of how will I feel if that thing is here now,
Yes.
it changes so much, and changes so much in like you just once like I once asked myself that question. This was like 2 years ago, and then because I asked myself that question, I somehow got tricked into believing that I had all those things, and so my feelings about it changed. And because I maintained that consciousness of, oh, everything is here, then I functioned there as though those things were there, and because of that, my outputs were very good. And it's like, so even without those things being present physically, but they were just in my mind. Like what I wanted then, I wanted to buy a car. So I bought the car in my mind. And as long as I bought that car in my mind, every other thing just functioned because it was ultimately more of a feeling than of me having it physically.
Because,
And I was
because,
just
because,
amazed.
because what you really get when you have anything like that is the feeling. So why delay the feeling till when it happens? Why can't you feel it now? Go ahead.
That's true. So then identity being very, very key, and identity. So my questions now start from my
Okay.
questions start from here. So when you say manifestation, defining it as getting to a degree
Internally
where,
shifting to a
of inter-
degree where you are no longer emotionally dependent upon seeing reality change.
yes. So my question now is if like if it has not shown up physically,
Yes.
why are you defining it manifestation?
If it
Because
has not what?
like the word, if it has not shown up physically, why do you describe that as a manifestation?
Because it is not when it shows up physically that it manifested. It manifested when you create it internally.
Okay, but the word it manifests itself means that it has shown up.
Exactly. It has shown up because for you, physical reality is inferior to spiritual reality. For anything to exist physically, it must first exist vibrationally. And that vibrational existence is superior. So as far as you're concerned, it has manifested, even though it has not happened physically. That understanding is very critical because we are physical people. So it's tough, but that is the reality. If you don't believe it has happened, then you will not see it manifested physically.
Okay, that was very clear. Number two, one of the suggestions that you give very often, that you emphasize again and again, is that is creating the feeling through beta states or alpha states.
Yes.
My
Theta
yes,
state or
that
alpha
feeling
state.
is beta state. So is it not more difficult to jump to creating the feeling if you don't have the awareness or knowledge base? Like, because as in awareness
Awareness
is
of knowledge base of what?
like when you don't have information about something, it's because
When you don't have
information
what?
controls conscious. When you don't have awareness of something,
Yes.
Or I mean like a database, like conviction. We don't have conviction or understanding about something, then frequency will be difficult since understanding produces its own frequency.
Understanding of what
So,
now in this case?
okay, let me quickly form something. If somebody who has, which one will be easy? Uh, like, instead of feeling, this is what I'm saying. Like, instead of
Okay.
feeling your way into it, what if you gather information about that thing? Like somebody who is scared of getting a job or who thinks that they will not get a job because they believe the country is hard. If they change their source of information, then their frequency will change or their emotions around it will change. But
Definitely.
there is also the alternative. Yes, there's also the alternative, which you mentioned today, of just sitting down and visualizing the situation,
No, but
and
you know
then
that sitting and
your
visualization will be no, sitting and visualization will be for a moment. It won't be for the whole day. So what you are saying is still very necessary because that will influence their
oh,
behavior. So they need to also be mindful of their focus, and that will be determined by what they are hearing. So what you are saying is part of it.
oh, okay, sir.
It's still part of it.
Okay, sir.
In fact, that is very important
Yes.
because that is necessary to ensure they are focusing their concern and attention on the right thing. And that it should be based on what they are listening to. So listen, in fact, your eyes and your ear are so critical in manifestation because if you don't guard it carelessly, it's going to negatively influence the reality you desire.
Mm, yes. Okay, I'm coming. Then number three, third one. When you mentioned physical work versus internal work, my question about that one is like if you do like somebody who is this one is physical work versus internal work. Like
Yeah.
the way you can do the internal work, if you do the physical work, like force your way to the physical work by doing volume, won't you achieve the same result or similar results by sitting down and creating a mental picture?
No. If you do physical
Like,
work first, you are going to be on a
okay,
long route. That's why people say you must pay your dues. If you do the internal work, you are going to short circuit it because you are going to do what is necessary, not just doing things blindly. That's why I said, because of the internal work, you have an idea. Okay, there's a program we have now, and I was meditating on it. I was just, and as I was visualizing what I want to see, some idea were coming to my mind, and I noted them down yesterday morning. And before the end of yesterday, I implemented those ideas. Why? Because I was meditating and then the idea of what to do came to me rather than just doing different things you think you should do to achieve that objective. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. So what it does is to
yes, sir.
streamline you and make you to do smart work rather than hard work.
Okay. Okay, so I get this very well. I even like the way you mentioned short circuits.
Yes, just circuit
That's
is
very vivid to me.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Physical work then in comparison is like try and error where
Yes, 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 yes.
um, so that's very cool. Then next one, my next question. If since you define manifestation as shifting to a degree where what's that definition? Where of
Where you're
changing your
internally
internal
shifting to a
reality.
degree where you are no longer emotionally dependent upon seeing reality change. That means your emotion that it has changed does not need to see anything outside. Internally, you created that emotion and you believe it has happened without nothing changing outside. Go ahead.
Okay. Yes. Then you now added where you are good with it or good
Agree with
without
that.
it.
Exactly. That means even when it has not happened, you are fine. When it has happened, you are fine. Because the reason you must be good with or without it is that if you are good only with it, that means you don't believe it has happened. But if you believe it has happened internally, with or without it externally, you are fine.
Oh, where you are good with it or without it externally.
You are good with it or without it externally because you already know internally it has been done. So you're not worried about whether it's happening externally or not because internally it's done. So the feeling
I can't hear you.
internally, you have sat down, you created an emotional experience, worshiping God, even crying because of the awesomeness of his presence and the goodness of his mercy in your life, because you are seeing that thing happening in the presence of God in worship and gratitude. So you now woke up, you have not seen it, that's not happened, it does not change now, but internally, you are satisfied, you are at peace that this is done, even though nothing has changed externally. Because faith is better than you already. Faith is better than you already. It's like a man whose wife is pregnant. The lady knows she's pregnant. Even nobody sees it. She knows she's pregnant. That it cannot be seen. The tummy is not producing, does not change the fact that it's pregnant. It doesn't change. It doesn't change it.
That's true. That's a bit more difficult, but I get it. Yeah. So then concerning prayer, praying about something every day,
yes,
and then importunity in prayer
yes,
seems like an expression of doubt.
yes.
What do you say about
The importunity in
Daniel's
prayer is the
21 day
gratitude, because gratitude is prayer, not asking again.
Okay. Okay, yeah. So about Daniel's 21 day consistent prayer challenge, did for 21 days. What do you say about it?
You are not getting the point. How do you know he was asking the same thing every day? Because it's a prayer.
So he didn't even eat though. He did not
what?
eat. He got so weak that he did not eat. Daniel did not eat anything.
It's not eating it, though. That means prayer. I'm trying to say that if someone says he's praying for 21 days, does not mean he's asking for the same 21 days. Because we have defined prayer only as asking. That's the problem. Seeking is prayer. And you seek in your mind through meditation.
I can't hear you, sir. Can you hear me, sir?
Oh, I thought I said seeking is prayer, and you seek in your mind through meditation.
Okay, yes, that's okay. Well, okay, then I don't know. I don't have any more to say of that. Then finally, or close to finally, current reality.
For what?
Like you gave the example of somebody who has been seeking a job for 6 months and person doesn't have a job yet. And like you planted onions, don't expect mango. So in that case, and you said that because the person's result currently is no job, rejections, and all of those things, that their internal vibration is wrong. Then I'm like, it raised the question in my mind when I place it with other truths that the current reality is not current vibration. The current reality is past vibration. So can we conclude that because the person doesn't have it yet means they've not shifted internally?
The person does not what? Have it yet.
Yes, because it has not shown up, like person has not gotten the job physically, doesn't mean they've not shifted internally.
Yes. If it's prolonged, something is wrong. If it's prolonged,
but you can't put
you can get a job within a month, within 2 months, within 3 months, 6 months, 1 year. Something is wrong internally. Something is wrong.
But sir, that means you put a time frame on it.
No. I'm not putting a time frame. I'm only saying that if something have happened internally, you will not be idle. Let me tell you. It might be that you have an intuition and a leading to go and do something for free for someone. That means you go to a school and teach for free. It doesn't mean they're even paying you. But you can't, it's not going to happen because it's not that you're putting a timeline to. I'm only saying that what you're asking for is not something that requires so much to happen. It's something that can happen at the instant. So why is it taking for so long? Why is it taking for so long?
Okay.
Yeah, you don't know when it will happen, but it won't be 6 months, it won't be 1 year. Because it's something people are getting within a short time. I don't know if I'm making sense.
Okay.
Something like getting within a short time.
Yeah, but
If people can get within a
still,
short time, why will you all be 1 year?
I don't know.
Let me give you an example. Let's say it's a baby. Everybody know that a baby is 9 months. So there's nothing you can do about that. That's the nature. But this one, people get it at different time. So why is your own taking 2 years? Do you understand what I'm saying?
And then the person is okay.
And then the
So
person
you are
is what?
measuring that. I said the person, you are measuring it along with all the other things going on in the person's life, right? Like the person is not doing anything. Because you mentioned how that if the internal vibration is correct, then there should be intuition to do something.
Yes. Who should you talk to? Where should you go? Different idea will pop up in your head. If nothing is popping up in your head every day in the direction of what you should be doing, quite frankly, something is wrong. It's something you're not doing correctly. And when you say getting a job, does not mean they're paying you yet. Like I said, it might be going to teach freely in a secondary school because that's the path to getting the kind of job you want. Because from there you see a student, you begin to teach them. They say they like how you teach. They told their parents you go and be teaching them at home. Their parents saw you, ask for your CV, then you get a job, a better job. But that you will not be able to get something to do, something is wrong.
Yes. Thank you, sir. Then let me add my contribution, one more contribution before I close. About seeds. The way I like how you mentioned, you made seeds vivid as emotion.
Favor. I like the example you gave. That's for the birth of John the Baptist and Isaac because God had a plan for it. Are you attributing that to a job that you need immediately? This is a God plan of someone coming into the world because of what God wants him to do. How does that affect your job to be able to feed yourself and take care of yourself? It's two different realities you are combining. Two different realities. Go ahead, Grant.
Okay. So about seeds.
Yes.
How that words, thoughts, expectations, self-love, self-acceptance, none of those things. Like that consciousness of, so the point I really took there is we are all planting every day.
Yes.
We just have to be aware of the seeds that we are planting. So,
the real issue for us as humans is lack of consciousness of the seed we plant every day. I think that's the biggest challenge we have as human beings. Lack of consciousness of the seed that we plant every day. Go ahead.
Right, that's about it, sir. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Favor, go ahead.
Hello, sir. Good evening.
Good evening.
Grant, you raised many things, some of the things that I wanted to talk about. So my own question, okay, not per se question. I think what really stood out for me was like Grant rightfully said, every day is like an opportunity to plant.
Yes.
And we are, whether we like it or not, we are planting either by default or by design. Yes. And if we maybe want to like be more intentional and take charge of our reality or desired reality, we have to actually live by design and not by default. At least we can, to a degree or to an extent, control what becomes of the reality. And then something else that stood out for me was like living in your reality already. Like the reality might not be, like you mentioned, mentally to us, like people will believe that yes, it's done already, it's done, but physically it's not there, but you're already living, you're already visualized, you are living in that visualized reality already. So I think that's one of the things that stood out for me again. I think it's also one of the key points that this book Think and Grow Rich talks about, that yes, you might not be the wealthiest yet, but you are acting like the person you want to be, even though you are not yet that person physically, but in your head, like mentally. And to be honest, some people are going to think you are delulu because they're like, are you okay? Like, what we can see physically is not what the person is actually.
You must be delusional to manifest your desired reality. You
So
must
yeah,
be delusional because you have not seen it, but you are behaving like someone that have seen it. That's delusional. And you must be
yeah,
delusional to manifest your desired reality.
yeah. And I think that this is like one of what we're talking about is like the core of Christianity. Like we don't see God, but we believe that God is there. And we live with that reality that once we leave the earth, we are going to go to heaven. So yes, I believe that. And just like you use the example of a pregnant person, that even though nobody has seen it, she knows that yes, she's pregnant already. So I think
Yes.
it's more of a meeting compared to like, oh, what you are saying. It's more of like a meeting, what I believe in. And although many people would definitely agree with your opinion, just your personal mantra as a person. And I think another thing that really stood out for me was when you talk about internal environment. Our internal environment affects quite a lot physically. Who you are as a person, it all ties to like the whole frequency thing, like who you are as a person affects a lot of things and how you see things even physically. But there's something I don't really understand was when you talked about don't judge the day by what you sow, judge the day by what you reap. Can you elaborate on that? I didn't really
What
quite
you
grasp
sow and what you reap. Don't
that.
judge the day by what you sow, by your prayer, affirmation, visualization. Judge the day by what you read in how you feel internally that it has happened. So let the internal assurance, peace, feeling of it happening be the basis for you knowing it has happened, not using the fact that I've been praying and then you're judging the fact that you're not seeing results based on your prayer rather than
Yeah.
judging your result by how it has changed you internally. Remember, the goal of prayer is internal shifting. If you are praying and you're not shifted internally, nothing will change on the outside.
That's true. That's true. That's true. Sir, I want to also talk about something. I think a video where somebody talked about one of the reasons why people do not achieve things. Like, for example, maybe you want to start a project and you maybe tell people, oh, I'm about to start a business or something like that. And people are like, oh, that's nice. And you already get that feeling of feeling good that yes, I'm trying to do something. Even before you start doing the actual thing, then how do we bridge that gap? The person that was actually talking about that in the video said it's one of the reasons why people do not achieve or follow through because they already did the emotional work for that action itself. So how do you the gap between that and actually believing and picturing ourselves that yes, it has happened, and still letting that feeling help us follow through on that project? Because compared to just maybe because we've gotten the emotional reward of oh, people are saying it's a good idea, oh, it's nice, and then we don't follow through. So I that's just
No,
one of the
if you
things
don't
I was
follow
like, how do
through,
we
that
draw that
means you don't
line?
believe. I mean, remember, the first thing is forget about what people are saying. What is important is you, because it's you that you're attracting it to yourself. Not what people are saying, affirming it is good, but that should not be your basis. Your basis, remember, you're supposed to be watering it every day because you believe it has happened. So if you now, because the goal of watching every day is because one of the things that translate what you have created internally to physical is the work you do physically, action. And the internal feeling and gratitude that give you the mental nudges, that give you the intuition, that give you the inspiration and idea of what you should be doing now to manifest that desired reality. So if you fold your hands and doing nothing, nothing will happen because you are so good. You are just going to
Even
do
if you
something,
visualize on it.
but if you are not doing anything, then you don't get to see anything. Because what should happen is that what you are doing internally should be directing you of what you should be doing externally towards manifesting that desired reality. And the reason you are taking that step is because you believe by taking this step, you are going to achieve it. You know that this is the path to it, and that is driving you to do it. So if you're not doing anything, that means you don't even believe that this thing, if you do it, it will lead to the results you desire.
That's so true. Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Mr. Sam, good evening. Hello, Mr. Sam. Good evening. Good evening. Okay. Okay, I think Mr. Sam is busy. All other people have gone, maybe because of data. All right. Thank you very much, everyone, this evening. See you next week. Have a great, great week ahead, and bye-bye.